Good afternoon, everybody. I'm on a quest to find something that I lost, something that means a lot to me. And it's taking me to some interesting habitat right now. We've got a lot of this sort of desert scrub, old Pinyon juniper, or maybe young Pinyon juniper actually. Juniperus, osteosperma, the Utah juniper, common in the Colorado Plateau and the Great Basin, as well as Pinus edulis, the two-needle pinyon pine. See a lot of that today. Great plant, but these two are not exactly loved by many. And of course we have Arctostaphylos patula, the Greenleaf Manzanita. You can see it growing as high as like Bryce Canyon and on the rim of the Grand Canyon for that matter, as I just did earlier. But also common in wetter portions of the sort of desert scrublands when you start getting into that pinyon juniper like we are here. And a bunch of other things. But I gotta find myself a way to get up there. I know I have to go off-road. But yeah, let's just see what else we find today. Hopefully the thing I'm looking for. So far I've been on this eroded Navajo sandstone sand, very common on the Colorado Plateau. But this journey is going to take me onto material capping some of these hills here, which is the Carmel Formation, in particular the Co-op Creek Limestone Member. And I think that's going to affect the plants we see a little bit. It's certainly, this place I'm going to is certainly a bit of an interesting one when I was there, at least as I remember it. You had a lot of Purshia, stansburyana, and Yucca baccata, which I'm hopefully going to see again. Great stuff all around. And that's a big Utah juniper. And pinyon pine right next to it. Two great tastes that go great together. But yeah, at least it's very scenic out here. And it's not too hot, and it looks like I'm not going to get rained on either, thankfully. It was very rainy last night on the Kaibab Plateau. Now we're off into the woods to find my water bottle. Yes, if I haven't mentioned it already, what I'm here to look for is my water bottle. I left it here 3 years ago at this one spot while doing surveying work for the BLM. So let's see if we can find it. I'm really hopeful, but actually kind of doubtful that I'll find it, to be honest. It's a cool forest though. Now I'm here, I hope you can see what I was talking about. Look at this rock. It's clearly very shaly looking. I mean, it might just be sandstone or actual shale, but if this is the Co-op Creek Limestone Member, sort of would expect it to be made of limestone. I need some acid to test that to know for sure. Got Yucca baccata, as the saying would be. And of course, Purshia stansburyana. We're about a little under 6,000 feet in elevation here. Definitely well below where I've seen these plants on the rim of the Grand Canyon, but they're pretty hardy, I think. They can survive a wide range of temperatures. And it is a bit further south on a very south-facing slope, so in fact, those things help to allow certain species to thrive at higher elevations than you'd normally expect. It was another Cordylanthus wrightii. Nice. It's another classic from these areas. Get a lot of Cordylanthus this time of year and into August. I've almost never seen them in bloom though, funny enough. Only seen their green purplish stems all over the place. I do love the Yucca baccata though. It's just such a cool looking plant. And very painful if you accidentally walk into it, as I've experienced a few times, unfortunately. Very cold hardy. You often see it on the mountains of the Mojave Desert, but also around here and in parts of southwest Colorado as well. I'm sure if you planted it in Salt Lake City, for instance, it would do just fine temperature-wise. You probably need to irrigate in the summer though, just a little. Oh, that's a big patch. I like that. Look at this, just found Cylindropuntia whipplei, one of the few cholla species that can handle the cold of the Great Basin. It's not widespread in the Great Basin, but you find it in the Cedar City area quite abundantly, which gets just as cold as any other part of the Great Basin for that matter. Really cool species. I love them. Chollas can be hard to tell apart, but this one looks very distinctive now that I've renewed my vows with it. The last time I seen it must have been in 2023 actually. Something about it reminds me of like the Cylindropuntia ramosissima. I mean, with much more spines and thicker stems, but the way they curve seems very reminiscent to me in a strange way. Look, more Yucca baccata. And it wouldn't be the Dixie Divide region without some Opuntia aurea now, would it? Growing really nicely in all that thick, beautiful crypto. I'm gonna work my way around so I don't crush it. Some good stuff there. So we're also joined by a lot of Ephedra. Not surprised at all to see that here. I'm a little surprised to see the Opuntia aurea, to be honest, because I forgot they could find it on this type of rock. I thought it was mostly just like sand or decaying sandstone. There's another one. Oh, there's like some game trails here, it looks like. So I can walk this way, then it'll be all right. Yeah, we got a big, healthy patch of Opuntia phyacantha. It's got much larger petals than either aurea or polyacantha. I guess it's healthy except for that big chunk taken out of it. Wonder if there's some kind of native like bug that ate it out, or whether could an animal have done that? I mean like could a mammal have done that? Like a rabbit? Seems a little unlikely. I don't know what species eat Opuntias around here in terms of the insects. There's some big clumps of the Opuntia aurea as well. I always love to see that. Oh, even bigger ones. Wow. Really got to see it just thriving out here. You know, it is pretty range restricted, but I guess it's not exactly an endangered species. It seems like it's pretty common in its range, though. Well, maybe it has been listed as endangered. I just don't know that. It's got to be the biggest patch of Opuntia aurea I've seen yet. Wonder how many of them are just clones from one individual versus plants that sprouted from seed. If you look at all the crypto here, you can see this is a place that definitely doesn't get visited very often. I almost feel bad for being here, but then again, I did come up to this region, this fairly specific area once for a survey work. So, and I'm trying to minimize my impact as much as possible right now. There we go. This one almost looks like less of a game show, more of a drainage pathway, which honestly I think it could be. It's so beautiful out here. Okay, it turns out I had taken a different road than I had previously taken to get out here, but this I'm pretty sure is the right one. And out there is the place I need to be, where I just might find my water bottle. I got way too much time on my hands. I always feel like I don't have enough time, but clearly I do if I'm out here doing this. Let's take a second look at how beautiful this area is though. See, all that Navajo sandstone I was previously talking about, and this Carmel Formation on top just sits there. I wonder which one erodes quicker. I have no clue actually. I couldn't even guess, to be honest, but interesting stuff to think about. Another species I remember seeing from this place is Fraxinus animalis, the single leaf ash. This is a species of ash that is adapted to the deserts here. Seems to like the wetter portions of a desert. It really seems to do well on this, presumably gotta be pretty harsh soil here. Man, these hills are very brutal. I think mountains are nicer than hills, to be honest. It's a constant up and down is really wears you down, but I'm so close now, I feel like I can't turn back. Oh, and look at all that Yucca baccata, getting some height on it. Love to see that. Beautiful plant. With all this Purshia stansburyana I just mentioned, or previously mentioned, I mean. And that hill over there is where I need to be. I feel so close, but I don't want to go up and down another hill again. Well, I guess I have to do it a bunch if I'm going to get back to my car ever. Well, I signed up for this stupid mission. It's got a lot of Amelanchier Utah-ensis in the vicinity. Oh, look. Rus trilobata or aromatica. I think there is a specific variety that's known for having simple, not compound leaves like this specimen does. But a few of them are almost compound, like look at that one. Really interesting how much variation there is in nature when you take a look at it. Because sometimes species can be, at least as they've been described by scientists, can have a lot more variation in them than people realize, I think. Well, hereabouts is the area that I expect to find it. Guess just gotta start looking everywhere, but the reason I have very little hope, because, well, just take a look at how steep the slope is here. It could have just fallen down that way or on the other side and basically be gone forever. And I don't have time to search over there. This is a real long shot kind of thing. I guess it could have also fallen out of my backpack on the way back to where I parked my car that time. So I'm gonna start scouring the area and try and trace my footsteps back if I don't see it in this general area. But at least I got a decent video out of it if I don't find anything. Looks like there could be some really cool slot canyons to explore down there. And all around here. Maybe I do have a reason to come back here in the future. Way in the future, hopefully. Needless to say, I haven't found that water bottle yet, and it's certainly a color that would stand out a lot, I think. So there's a pretty good chance it just rolled downhill and is eventually going to become part of a sediment in Lake Mead, given enough years. So I'm ready to say, thanks for watching and see you next time. Whew, man, it's hot out here.